You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
Posted all over social media. I am certain if I can get by like the next week, then Sheets will not have a problem. That's right. You tagged them in one of those.
I don't think they ever saw it.
Yeah. So
Nope.
get them now, folks. You can go over and still order them and get them any day now. I expect either encouragement from Sheets or a strongly worded letter. One of the two things is going to happen. And I've got the stickers. You can get mugs. Did I tell you I've done like artwork, like wall artwork, like posters and framed canvas things with all the logos on it. You can get anything you want.
I don't know who wants that.
Somebody
framed,
ordered a pair of the Burger King, the Gravel King socks. I made them into socks. Somebody ordered those. I'm curious how those turned out. It actually took a long time to do the socks because you had to do the logo placement so that it met at the right spot on the where the two pieces came together. It was tricky, but I'm happy that I did it. So get over there, go click the merch link on the website, Gravel Travel Dirt, and I'm adding new stuff all the time. It was good to see Father Dave wearing a Gravel King t-shirt.
He did, and he had a beautiful new unPAved flannel.
Yeah, that was
I forgot
nice.
to get.
The pullovers were nice too.
They had pullovers?
Yeah, they were like the white shirt that had like the orange and gray and green lines in it.
Oh.
I guess it was a kind of a pullover. It almost looked like a tech tee kind of thing. I wasn't allowed to spend a whole lot of time in the expo. I was told to get in and get out and couldn't even go get any kettle corn.
You could have got kettle corn. You had the car keys.
That's right. I guess nobody was leaving until I did. So yeah, folks, we went up to unPAved for the weekend. We went up on Friday. We were there Friday afternoon, Friday evening. We were there all day Saturday, all day Sunday for the event, and then we left and came home Monday. Real quickly, Joey, what was your favorite part of unPAved this year?
The McDonald's Monday morning. No, I'm just kidding.
Gross.
My favorite part. I didn't even think about my favorite part. I want to say our time in camp around the campfire each night.
Yeah, that was
So
nice.
it's like 3 nights,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, we only got in trouble one night.
Yeah, it was pretty relaxing.
Yeah, we only got in trouble the one night. And I don't even know if that was really in trouble. I think
He was just doing his rounds.
that was just more of a, hey, fellas,
He was lame.
turn your quietly playing music, your very demure music, turn that
You wouldn't
turn
even
that
know
off.
it was on unless you
I
walked.
actually kind of forgot it was on.
Yeah.
Because it was so low. It was so
The
low. and so
gigglers were
quiet.
louder.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
And then I started giggling, and then
So we stayed at RB Winter this year.
beautiful RV winter.
That is a really good way, in my opinion, to do unPAved. Because I was under the wrong impression that RB Winter was really far away from everything. But it's not.
It's 20 minutes.
It's like 20 minutes to Mifflinburg and like 25 or maybe a couple more minutes into Lewisburg.
Yeah.
But it never felt like, because it's one road, it never felt like it was like, oh, we're never going to get there.
It wasn't going to Popatty.
Right, and it is a really pretty road, even if you had to drive down and go back and forth to Mifflinburg and Lewisburg.
Yeah.
And we ate. Well, let's back up a little bit. On Friday when we got in, the weather was gorgeous. Weather was gorgeous Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And it only turned a little bit Sunday morning. Casey was there.
Sunday night.
Who else was at camp this year? We had Austin and Ellen, and then
And then the slumber party.
the whole slumber party group.
But yeah, that was our little group.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was good to spend a lot much time with Casey. Casey's such a great guy.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun kind of getting to hang out with him. We don't really get to do that.
It was kind of a surprise. I didn't even think about texting him.
No,
It was a surprise.
I had asked him, or he had asked me if we were doing it and what our plans were, like way back in the spring when we did the Grayson trip.
Oh, okay.
And I told him that we were camping in RB Winter, and I gave him the spot numbers, which we ended up getting all kind of turned around on a little bit. But just trying
We
to
monopolized
team-
RV Winter, that's all.
trying to be a team player.
Literally, it was like Monopoly.
Yeah, and it actually worked out pretty well. RB Winter's a pretty park.
It's gorgeous.
We didn't even get to explore it. I mean, they've got a lake there. They've got a little beach. They've got trails.
It feels like a newer, I guess a little bit easier living than something like Popatty. Like Copatty's a little bit out there and a little bit more rustic of a camping area.
Yeah.
And it seemed like RV Winter is a little bit, I don't want to say up to date because I don't need up to date. Like Copatty was plenty.
It felt like a very mature campground to me. Not mature in the sense of the clientele, mature in that the trees had filled in.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you go into those campgrounds and if they're relatively new areas, they kind of have been knocked down, cleared, and it's kind of...
Oh, that's not a relatively new place.
Yeah, it felt very mature. It was very comfortable. The bathrooms were really clean.
We never used shower houses.
Never took a shower. It was that kind of weekend.
I baby wiped for 4 days.
I didn't even do that.
I didn't even shower till Tuesday.
You did not.
Yeah, I showered Sunday or Monday.
I felt so gross by the time I got home on Monday. I was actually taking a shower in the driveway more than anything else. It was fun to actually kind of like just hang out and no pressure of schedules or timing or anything like that. So
yeah, I mean, there's so much going on, which we have done a lot in the past. I mean, I know you weren't there last year. And I think everyone needs to do all of this stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think by like our 5th year, whatever it is, what did I say was going to be?
Socially unsociable?
Socially as unsociable as possible. I'm not bike peopled out, but that's all I had a 5-week block of.
Well, you're entertaining middle schoolers and high schoolers and their families.
And
their parents. To the tune of what, 1,000, 1,200 people a weekend?
1,000 to 1,500, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
in one confined area.
That's a pretty.
So that is the nice thing about these gravel events is it's a little more spread out. The course is spread out. I had no responsibility really this weekend, which was nice.
No, we had a little responsibility.
We had
because we did go. We went up on Friday.
We had responsibility, but it's not my normal load that I've become adapted to with my new job.
So Friday night we went into Mifflinburg.
Which was awesome.
It was really good. We did not go to Rusty Rail. We went to the other in-town food choice, which was Scarlet D's.
I think so.
I think it was Scarlet D's, yeah.
In some old hotel.
Yeah, and it was...
perfect.
It really was.
It would have been really cool to photograph that bar area.
Well,
it just was old.
It's like an old hotel, like lobby kind of feel. And they had a couple of guys playing guitar and singing.
At the perfect
volume.
Oh, my God. I could sit next to you and Casey and talk.
And we could have conversation, but at the same time, when there was a lull in the conversation, which wasn't very often.
You could tune in when you wanted to, but you weren't overpowered by it.
Yeah. And the food was really good, too. We both had wings. Casey had tenders on top of...
I didn't have wings. I had freaking chicken legs.
It's about the size.
I don't know why mine looked a lot bigger than yours.
Because you got the breaded. I got the naked.
Naked.
So you had sort of like a little bit more...
A little bit oomph on there.
To each of your chicken legs.
I got down to the last couple, and I kind of just ate a couple of the good bites off, and I'm like...
I can't do it anymore.
No.
Oh, you had tots, too. You had a massive tray of tots.
I didn't think they were going to... a lot of people skip because they were so cheap.
Yeah.
It was like $1 a wing, which you don't hear of nowadays.
No. That was the other thing. It was so affordable.
Yeah.
It was like...
Leonardtown Pub, that's $28 and $29. So it was like $12.
With something... I was like, my bill wasn't even $20.
Mine was $20 because I got tots.
Yeah.
And I got 2 lemons in my water.
Yeah.
But man, nothing against Bull Run or Lewisburg, but we were trying to spread the wealth for the economy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we want to let them know we're there and make an economical impact for the good folks of unPAved.
Right. Mifflinburg all the way to Lewisburg, all the way around.
Yep.
All the way around. We spent a lot of money on campsites we never used.
Yeah, how much? I mean, I paid like $90. You probably paid $90 plus another $40.
It was fun though.
Yeah,
it was worth. But you think about it,
still a lot cheaper than everywhere else.
Still a lot cheaper than staying.
Except for the Chatterton's house.
Truth. Well, that would have been a lot in gas now because they don't live in Mifflinburg anymore. Yeah. That would have been rough. We still think I think often and frequently of that first unPAved experience at Brett and Elise's with Wes there, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a tremendous amount of fun. So Scarlet D's was amazing. I could highly recommend that. Well, you'd recommend it, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
To anybody in Mifflinburg.
There were so many good food choices, too.
Yeah.
I just went right to the wings.
I heard that, and Casey gave us a recommendation on Scarlet D's, but he also said that Jackass Brewery not only has really good beer, but they also have really good food, is what he said. It's like a level above the standard brewery grill food.
Is that the one on the rail trail?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I felt like they were going to get enough stimulated economy or stimulate. Oh, yeah, I can't talk.
I know that's where the West Virginia boys went. I know that's where the West Virginia boys went.
So we were spreading the wealth.
Yeah, they were at Jackass, and that's Jeremy and
they
Jason
were talking about their
Scott.
tots.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't have tot wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine were playing. They had like smothered and like everything.
All was good. It was all good. It was also very good. And so we rode our bikes on Saturday because we volunteered on Sunday for race day.
Yeah, did we get yelled at Friday night or is that Saturday night?
It was Friday night that he came over and told us to quiet down the music because it was like 9:15 and our soft playing music at 9 o'clock was in violation.
I just want to throw that in on the timeline.
Yeah,
because we burnt some really wet wood.
Yeah, they should have actually extended the quiet time till 10 o'clock based upon the fact that you had took an hour to get your fire started with the soaking wet wood. Yeah. That wasn't soaking wet because of rain. It was soaking wet because it was green. And I've still got that splinter. I've still got a splinter in my finger. Such a baby.
I was told that shed during the hurricane that came through the rain like 2 weeks ago, that thing just is not waterproof.
Oh, so it just
all
got
that
saturated.
wood just soaked and just sat there. And no way to dry out.
Well, we then moving forward, we augmented the wet wood with some dry wood.
Yeah,
that was quite complicating for you to buy
twice
on Saturday and on Sunday. That was difficult.
Yeah, you can go back to the ride. I just want to say, I think Friday. I'm trying to think about Friday night. We got yelled at.
Friday night, we got yelled at.
Yeah,
and
Saturday we woke up at 2 a.m. It was freaking hot. In our tent, but it also wasn't. That was the warmest night. It was like 55.
Yeah,
I stepped out of the tent.
Yeah,
our tent was like 80.
So that everybody knows that you and I are both rooftop tent people. I put mine on a trailer. You put yours on a car. But for this trip, we decided to go a little rogue, and we drove up to Gary together and carried one giant gazebo.
We were going to go with a big tent, which I have, and then you pulled the audible the day before and was like, we should sleep in the gazebo.
Yeah.
And as soon as you said that, it was like a treehouse.
Yeah.
Not a tent, but like it felt like a treehouse.
It was, so we each had our cots, and there was a table in the middle with the refrigerator and the heater and the fan. We
had the lights up on top. We strung
top.
up. We had power sources. We had.
Oh, it was great. It was
great.
Awesome. And the little heater. The little ceramic heater inside that little space, it's I looked it up. That's 92 square feet inside of that gazebo. So it's the 6-sided gazelle.
Yeah.
And it was toasty in it. The thing
very toasty.
Stayed very warm. The only thing I've ever worried about with that was the fact that it's not really great with getting saturated in a heavy rain. But we tested it. We tested that.
I only got like dribbled on for like a minute.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah, probably.
No, it worked out well. It worked out great. And you made an amazing breakfast.
It was all right.
Oh, come on. Toasted
I know
bagels
we could always do better.
On the flat top with country sausage that you seasoned and eggs.
Oh, yeah, we did potatoes too.
Did potatoes and onions in the potatoes.
That sausage was a little sus because I don't think it had any seasoning in it.
Well, you doctored it. Oh, didn't you?
It said breakfast sausage. I just thought it was ground pork, but we ate it.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good on the toasted bagel, and it was just perfect. I will say.
Yeah, kid food always tastes better.
It does. I think that's a part of it, and you're part of the process of it getting cooked, and you're sitting there, and I get to watch you make it. I felt like I was part of the team watching. Did I help at all? I don't think I did. No. I don't think you want help. I don't. Think
I'm there to take care of. Like, it's just in my nature. Like, I just want people to sit around and relax.
Yeah.
Like, I like. God, I would actually. I would love to run an Airbnb. I don't know. I like to I like to cook for people.
Yeah,
and have them relax. And like, I don't mind doing all the work.
It was delicious.
Yeah,
it was, and it showed.
That thing was a little bit of a pain in the butt.
What, the flat top?
Because I worried about it in the rain, and I actually got to check it. I forgot I have this big old, like, huge cast iron that's meant to cook everyone breakfast on top of the fire grate.
Okay.
And with a big handle.
Yeah, but that would have required getting all that wet wood.
I would say it's convenient because we don't have to do the fire for the morning. But
I don't think that would have worked that well.
I cooked breakfast for like 25 of our staff last 2 weekends ago at Patapsco on that thing. Bagel sandwiches.
Right.
Yeah, and I fried everyone's egg.
Did you? Everybody got their own fried egg?
Yep.
So Saturday was after breakfast. West Virginia boys came up and met us. Is that their name now?
Yeah.
Jason, Jeremy, Scott, the West
We
Virginia
don't call
boys?
anyone here by their real name.
No.
Yeah.
No. We were very nervous about using people's real names at the beginning.
I don't know people's real names anymore.
But you know everybody. I know nobody. I can't.
You guys act like I do that on purpose.
I can't remember. Well, no, it's great. I think it's fantastic. But you do. You know everybody.
We'll get back to that, but we started the ride.
You're really good at remembering people's faces and names and associate. I'm horrible.
Long story short, everyone got mad at me because I knew everyone at the festival.
No, we didn't get mad at you.
I barely stepped foot under the arch, and I saw like 6 people.
We were in awe of that. Yeah. I was impressed by it. I'm not upset by it at all. I think it's amazing. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. It's just, it just shows how.
I even saw my friend Skylar, who we joked it's like, we were online dating the last 2 years from Kuat.
Kuat?
Yeah. We've never met in person.
You need to chat with him. I'd love to have Kuat come on the podcast.
Yeah, we can talk about his text about Sheets.
Yeah, it wasn't. Ooh.
Yeah, he sent me, I told you that.
Sheets is not his favorite, or?
We'll get back to that.
Okay.
So we rode. We'll get back to the festival.
Yeah.
We rode a little bit earlier because it was actually warm. I was afraid of it being so cold.
Yeah.
And I forgot to actually pack riding clothes. I kind of just had. You saw how I dressed. I just had stuff in my bag.
Yeah. It's like you just layered up. And
just threw stuff on. None of it was actually meant for that, but I did have one set of bibs.
You worked really hard on your bike. I mean, I could tell you were laboring on that.
Oh, yeah.
You're really worried about that battery.
So, going into this event, my current job does not let me ride drop bars. No, I'm just kidding.
It's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal from the months of August to December. I don't know. I was back and forth. I haven't really touched my rodeo for off-road stuff. I have like 3 drop bar bikes. But I actually have the rodeo in pieces, cleaning, not fixing the frame. I'm kind of cleaning up some rust, routing my dynamo. And I was like, I got a Specialized Levo, which is way overkill. The bike wasn't meant for like a 30-mile gravel ride with 3,000 feet of elevation. It worked. I was very scared of it dying. Not like someone could have come and picked me up. But I think people had to, I think everyone assumes when someone rolls up on an e-bike, like it's full power, they're riding it that way the whole time.
Yeah, riding it like a motorcycle. No, that's not true.
I could probably do 1 lap at the lake like that. I'd also get really hurt if I rode it like that. But no, I toggled the battery back a lot. I think all it did was counter the weight of the bike being heavier. No, the climbs hurt. I was riding at 10 to 20% max most of the ride the bike's output.
So I noticed I did tool it around the parking lot.
Yeah. You saw how quickly the battery goes.
Yeah, it does go fast. So there's Eco Trail and then Turbo.
Yeah.
And is that how you dial in what percentage of the battery?
If you hard hold the plus button, you go into percentages.
I was wondering about that because you kept saying
those are set like 30, 70, 100
or
whatever. There's a lot you can do within the app. But I just go to the actual 10% increments.
Okay.
So you can fine tune it.
And that's actually a great bike for you to have working these.
Oh, it's made sense all year for trail work and course stuff for NICA. But I was also very excited because it had so much travel.
Yeah.
It's like 150 or 60 up front with a little bit less in the back.
It barely fit on my bike rack.
It was a big boy.
It was definitely a big boy, for sure.
I knew that there was that much climbing up, and I had a dropper with 2.5 or 6 tires with a lot of aggressive tread. But I kept hitting. I called it terminal velocity. Like some of the descents that like straightaways, like Jason could pull away from me. Like there'd be times where I could pass them at the beginning of it. It wasn't often. And then at a certain point, my bike I couldn't go any faster. Because I don't know what my speed was,
but geared out. It geared out in the
between
battery.
The tires being that fat,
the
contact, it wasn't nimble. I mean, and also the other thing with that bike is anything after 20 miles an hour, the motor shuts off and you're on your own power. So you guys killed me on one of those flats. We were doing like 24. Like there was no motor involved with that.
Nice. We didn't even tell people what route we rode. We rode the Burly 30 out of RB Winter. And that is a no joke. There's no beginner about that. It's just 30 miles as opposed to 50 or 90 or 120.
The only beginner is like the first 200 yards before you turn up the big climb.
When you're coming out of the parking lot.
Yeah. That's the only beginner part.
You know what, though, I loved about it? It was all of the good stuff.
There was no rail trail or neighborhood roads or anything to get to it.
Nope. Just straight up forest roads that were really buff.
Oh, yeah.
That was like Champagne.
Like, I would convince people to ditch the 50, and there was only like 30 people because of the storms that actually rode the 30-mile route.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
Just do that instead next year.
Yeah.
And visit that side of the forest if you've already ridden.
And, you know, I was unsure how the whole going to a different place for the start, and but it's a 10 a.m. mass start. You're not starting at – if you're riding the 90 or the 120, you're leaving Lewisburg at 6:30 or 7:30, between 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
There's no way around it, unless you're like an elite kind of tip of the spear kind of thing. So the 10 o'clock start, you could even go see friends off at like 6:30, 7:30 for the longer ride, and then drive up because it's only 15 or 20 minutes to RB Winter.
Yep.
Tons of parking, plenty of room, beautiful facilities, and all of the accoutrements that you need. We set up the aid station and all that stuff. But enough about that. Just talking about the route itself, though, there were a couple of sections that were a little chunky, but chunky and not loose. Does that make sense?
I don't know. I had a lot of travel.
There were a couple of sections on both an uphill and a downhill.
Oh yeah, it was rugged.
Yeah, there were a couple that was a little, and I'm a conscientious descender, so I kind of take my time and kind of roll those brakes, which is why I probably ripped my brake pads and rotors to pieces. But hey,
I know that one really bad one. Like it wasn't you, but I waited like a couple minutes until I finally saw you. That's how fast.
Oh yeah,
that's how much the bike worked.
Yeah,
and how much you're limited.
Yeah,
because the road was so rough.
Well, the West Virginia boys, they're used to that.
They're insane,
and they're just like bombing these things. I don't think they touch a brake, and they get to the bottom.
If they did, you heard it because Jason sounded like a clown car.
Yeah, mine was worse though.
Yeah.
I sounded like a flock of geese coming down the hill. But I am more concerned about getting home at the end of the day than doing anything quickly. But there's a balance. And I know that you can't just grab and hold brake.
Yeah, you'll hurt yourself.
Yeah, that's just as bad as letting it free fly. You've got to really kind of moderate your speed and pick and choose. And that's what I do. I'm very careful. I'm good on the climbing up till about 3 or 4%. Then I've got the legs to get the job done. I'm not afraid of those. We saw some 11, 12, 15% grades.
Yeah, we made one turn after a descent. Yeah. We made that right-hand turn. It was like a freaking wall.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah. That was the only time I turned up the battery because I wanted to get pictures of you guys coming up that.
Yeah, it was nice. You did such a great job with that, too. Yeah. I can't applaud you enough. Your photography skills, Joey, are absurd.
Thank you.
You make us all look so much better than we actually are, especially me.
I try.
But I'm good up to like the 3-4% on the gravel, and then once it kicks up to 6-7, I'll get the job done.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting the job done quickly. I've accepted that my days of flying up and down hills are over. I enjoy the sights, the vistas, the views, and the camaraderie, which was a fantastic thing about Saturday. We had a small group.
We all stuck together.
Right? They didn't leave us. And wow, what I can't say enough too. We had beautiful weather, so it was
gorgeous. It was kind of chilly and people dressed for it. I even threw a pierogi bag on the front of my bike with a rain jacket to block the wind, but
didn't need it.
You don't need that with that first climb.
No, because you come right out of RB Winter and you're going up.
You're warm. And by the time we got to that second vista, because there's that one halfway that we looked for the northern lights, everyone shedded. That's the first place we got cell phone service to for the weekend.
Yeah, at the top of the hill at that turn.
Yeah.
The turn.
That's when everyone got naked.
Yeah, it's true. You know what? I always overdress, you know me, but even I was warm. And I didn't have anywhere to put my knee warmers. So I'd have taken them off. I took my wind jacket, my wind vest off, and then all I had was my wool base layer and a jersey, and that was perfect. And I wish I could have, if I'd had room or somewhere to stuff my knee warmers, I would have unloaded those, and it would have been perfect. Yeah. But didn't have it, so I just stuck with them, and that's fine. That's the way it goes. But yeah, I can't stress and emphasize enough how absolutely gorgeous.
Like the creeks we were riding by, those cabins. Like you see some of the cool rustic cabin, the Hunter Lodge things on the 50, well, all the routes. But then like some of the ones on the 30 were just next level.
Yeah,
I was like, Eisenhower stayed here. I kept making up like presidents. Like, this was Dick Cheney's. But we were at that one creek, the bridge, and that was just gorgeous. We all stopped and took pictures. You got to.
Yeah.
I mean, for the 30, you're not getting timed. Adam Robert, whatever his name is, he probably didn't.
In an hour and 15 minutes, or an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. Who knows?
Yeah. Even that last climb that sucked. The second to last, I think I was telling you, I was like, man, my legs. Yeah. That's when I started telling you, it's like my legs are really starting to hurt.
Yeah.
But I was worried about the battery. It turned out I finished with 35% battery left.
Well, you just conserved it. And it actually worked out really well. We do really appreciate you when you'd run off, and then we'd see you up there getting pictures of everybody.
Yeah, that was the only time I would bolt off and kill the batteries for two or three photo stops.
Yeah. Well, you would get pictures of the boys, the West Virginia boys, and then
I got somewhere altogether.
You would wait a few minutes, and then I would come by.
The one where we were first, like, I finally got pictures. That was a very rugged climb. We made like this U-turn up a switchback. Mm-hmm. Remember that one? And that was chunky.
The chunky one. I actually thought I climbed that well.
Oh, you climbed that great. We all stayed together for that one. I never tried to leave you either, but they actually stayed back with us.
Yeah, I don't know whether they stayed back or whether if I had just the right,
maybe both,
maybe a little bit.
No, you had
I had legs.
I felt like you warmed up by then.
But it didn't really kick above like 5 or 6%.
No, but you were navigating the fist size boulders that were hard packed in.
That didn't bother me. Like I said, I'd rather have gone up that than gone down that. But then we did eventually end up going down.
We had to go down the backside of that one. There were so many of those pipe drainage. I actually caught air, and I'm not like that kind of person. I just was going so fast and hit it right. I was like, holy cow.
So folks that don't know what they were talking about is where they'll go in and cut the road and make a runoff for the water.
Yeah, and some of them had like big fist-sized rocks in the middle of the ditch.
It's where the water had run over and taken the dirt. And that was all seemed like it was fresh.
Yeah.
Or not fresh, but it wasn't old infrastructure.
It was tough. I could definitely see an experienced person not doing that right.
Yeah. And some folks...
Well, that's also the one area where I gained so much ground on everyone.
Going down that? Oh, yeah, because you're like...
Drop her down,
and so much tire, and you probably didn't feel any of those things.
No, I wanted to ride back up it.
You shut up.
Because when you came to the bottom of the descent, you made this right-hand turn.
That was a sharp turn.
And you had all these beautiful younger growth pines and ferns, and it was like some mystical movie scene to me. Like, I don't know if you heard me yelling. There was a couple places I was just cheering.
No, I didn't. You were so far ahead of me, I couldn't.
It was so cool.
But the weird thing is, you're coming down that chunky kind of descent, and you make that weird triangle, really hard, almost a hairpin turn, and then those roads go back to so buff. Yeah. It almost felt like you went back to hardtop. It was that.
But there was still gravel.
There's still gravel. But there was a couple of sections like that just felt like the tire tracks, the lines for the car tires, just really felt like it was just
the cool part about that whole loop is you don't have you could go up on a regular weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
And stay at RB Winter.
Yeah, you could go up in RB Winter,
and they had little cabins. Did you ever see those?
I did. I did see those. I didn't know those existed.
Our gazebo was cooler, but
much cooler and much more comfortable.
Yeah,
I'd rather stayed on my nice clean cot with my air mattress on top of it.
The only thing I thought about, I didn't need the air. I stayed warm enough. The only thing I thought about with that gazebo, I know we're bouncing all over, was it's like, man, nothing's stopping a little raccoon from poking his head up underneath the side of this.
Nothing.
A tent, you're sealed in, and
although it's pretty tight to the ground.
It is.
It's pretty tight to the ground.
But I definitely had that intrusive thought of well, I'm just gonna smack this thing.
Wake up to a little trash pan rolling around. Yeah. And we had a rug that we put the plastic rug. We were living good. I thought we were living large. But I liked it. I'd do that again.
So you could set up a gazebo, do the 30, have a nice weekend with a family at RB Winter. There's a park, there's shower houses, there's a beach, there's the lake.
And they stock that with trout. Ranger Steve told me that.
Some lunkers in there. There was mountain bike trails. There's hiking trails. There's a lot of hikers out that day. Don't pee in the woods, everyone, because besides DNR seeing you or the cops, there's a lot of hikers.
A lot of hikers.
A lot of Mennonites. Didn't you jump a Mennonite?
What?
Their car?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah, sorry. That's the next day. But, I want to go back with Jess again.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be fun.
In
It's a
like
beautiful
springtime.
place. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous place.
Yeah, we finished that up. That was perfect.
So what did we ride? We rode about 2.5 hours.
225 I had.
225.
Yep.
So that'll give you an idea. Even with Strugglicious as over here, and lowest man on the totem pole, slowest man on the totem pole. We still finished in 2.5 hours of riding time. So it's a beautiful way to get away for just a little bit.
Yep.
And we rolled back into the parking lot because we had jobs Saturday.
I was a little worried because the time was getting a little bit longer than I thought.
We rolled in, and the U-Haul rolled in we almost turned into the park to the campground loop almost at the exact same time.
Yeah, trailer rolled in.
Our job was to help unload all of the boxes for the
overnight
slumber party folks. Now, these folks spent one night.
Good God.
At RV Winter.
I don't blame them, no.
You know what? If somebody told me you've got this much space to use,
you got to fill up that box.
Yeah, absolutely.
And luckily, we had the corn-fed West Virginia boys.
Yep, everybody
we had a lot of
out.
extra help.
Tons of help.
That's why we did the ride like that.
Yeah,
no getting out of that, boys. They were great about it.
No, they're great. And so we unloaded all that stuff, and then we I made that little side journey with Ranger Steve, where we
I didn't see you forever.
Fixed the whole campground situation in tent, so nobody was going to run us off Sunday night. Then we went into town, and as soon as we got to Lewisburg and Bull Run, the 200s, the big lick folks were rolling out, which
we had like 5 minutes to spare.
Yeah, they were lined up to roll out as we walked up, so we got to cheer them out. Then we had some food and chatted with some folks. Just some, saw Travis.
As soon as we turned the corner, the Schoonover's there.
Uh-huh.
I saw Andrew. I saw probably because everyone was waiting right there.
Yeah.
I met some new people for the first time, like Kayla Hall. She just finished Arkansas High Country. Her and her sister are badasses.
Yeah.
They do some ridiculous rides. She was right there. All these people were.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice seeing a crowd for the 200.
Oh yeah,
it was a good time to go, not midnight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because I'm sure they felt like they were sent off. Yeah. And I talked to Rich the next day, and I think he said everybody that was finished by 11:30 the next morning.
He was saying they need to tweak the hours or the distance a little bit so they finish a little bit later.
Yeah,
that's what he told me Sunday night.
Something needs to. They'll need to tweak that up a little bit, and they will. They will. That's a new thing, and they're just dialing it in.
But I saw Uncle Rich right off the bat too.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a cool little.
Yeah, Travis was there. We saw Travis. He had a booth this year for Grusk
and a couch.
We sat on the couch.
He let me sit on his lap.
Yeah, that was a great picture.
I love that picture.
That's a great picture. And Austin and Ellen came in.
Yeah, they actually did the rest of everything. They got some cool little gifts.
Yeah.
Bicycle made, they got a clock that was a chain ring with a license plate.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They made it to the food.
We made it.
Oh, no, we got $5 brisket.
Yeah, that was ridiculous how good that was.
With the chips
the homemade chips for $10.
From Bull Run, so we still supported Bull Run. It was in this weird, janky little, step corner stoop thing, and I think we got the last 2 orders.
Might have been. Either that or she was just
off.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Either that or the girl
she didn't have to see anything else after us.
Yeah. She was just slopping the stuff out.
God.
We may have gotten bigger sandwiches because of that. There may have been a lot more brisket.
It was a nice piece of brisket.
It was. It was really good.
Because we didn't eat all day. Oh, no, we ate breakfast.
Yeah.
But I was hungry 6 miles into the ride.
Yeah, and then it took we didn't get till 2:30 or 3 o'clock till we got into.
Yeah, it was late.
Lewisburg.
Because you were later to see for 6 hours.
Yeah, but we got it all worked out. We got all the stuff worked out.
Evan had some cool new products from Nittany Mountain Works.
Okay.
I think my little fold-out bag's behind you. I hung out with Evan for a bit. Like I said, there's so many people I saw. I couldn't leave. We got our Indo stuff on the way out.
Yeah. Always good. Always enjoyed that. Quite refreshing.
I'm trying to think who else. We saw Mark Yangamasawa as we were pulling out. We saw Abe at the grocery store. I was like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm done seeing everyone. And then I honk and see Mark, and then I see Abe up by the Giant. Now, I'm sure you guys were annoyed.
So our struggle on Saturday night, it wasn't a struggle. We're always happy to help. we're always our whole crew, everybody's always happy to help. Dave said, "Hey, emergency.
Yeah.
We need firewood at RB Winter that's dry." So you and I and Austin and Ellen, we combined stuff in the truck, made as much space as we could, went in, and then it was a very complicated purchase for you to buy that much firewood. I don't know what the issue was, but
I think the girl was really stoned at the register.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That would make sense.
That
would make sense.
She was pretty zooted.
Yeah. I was wondering, like you were wondering why I was with Ranger Steve for so long. I was wondering why you wouldn't come out of the giant food store for so long.
And I did 2 separate transactions. And the first one, they wouldn't take my giant number, which I don't think I think it's a different giant than we have.
I think it is, yeah.
Then she screwed up ringing up my personal stuff, which was our dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the firewood because I'm just used to that with work and all. And one receipt so I could send it to Dave. And, God, that took forever. Then she couldn't find the wood, and then she had to walk over, and then,
Quite the experience.
Yeah, it was, and the manager, she came over 4 separate times. I'm like, just stay here.
But we were able to get the wood back to RB Winter, so that people could have dry wood because they were struggling.
We
with
had
the
to
wet
mix
wood.
it in,
because
it was only 10 pieces per bundle.
Because that's all we could fit. We fit as much wood into the truck.
We got one bundle per campsite.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then said, hey, mix this in with some of the wet stuff over there, and it should work out just fine. And I think it did. Most people, I think, were happy with that. And you made amazing smash burgers.
Oh, yeah.
On Saturday night with bacon and cheese and
onions. Oh, I caramelized a couple big onions.
That was so good.
We had too many because cost effect. I got 4 pounds of beef for a little bit more than one. You buy bulk, so we made a lot.
Yeah,
but I dispersed them to a bunch of people, and I think Sue. It might have been Sue who was with Ted's crew. She definitely came up to me at the slumber part or the after party. Told me how much that helped her.
Oh, good.
Her burger.
Good.
Then some people didn't want them, and that last lady
took
the whole plate.
She's like, "Can I take everything?"
I'm like, "Yes."
There's a lot of burgers there.
Those were good burgers.
They were delicious. Absolutely wonderful.
I definitely need to smash them more, but
I didn't think so. I thought they were just right.
It was good and savory. It was quick and easy.
Yeah.
We definitely forgot other stuff to go with it, but we had 60 Whoopie Pies we ate. So I was pretty full.
Swing Bike John brought up a whole mess of Whoopie Pies on Friday night so that they would be there on Saturday. Yep. He had a whole cooler, and I think we probably ate maybe at least a quarter of them that he had in there.
Over the whole weekend, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I was talking about
I definitely have one in the fridge right now.
Because that man makes an amazing whoopie pie.
He has the best whoopie pies out there.
John, I got a request.
Besides changing your Instagram name to Swing Bike John is what we request.
That's one request, yes.
You could be Whoopie Pie John.
He could be either Swing Bike John or Whoopie. He may be the first person we ever give the choice to, or both.
Depending on our attitude at the time.
Yeah. I would be happy calling him Whoopie Pie John, just as happy as I am calling him Swing Bike John. Both of them make me very happy. I'd be up for either one of them. But I do have a request. I love the pumpkin. Love.
I hated it. Not because
you don't like pumpkin.
I just don't like pumpkin flavor. But the mascarpone.
Oh. So I would request
straight up
chocolate with the white cream filling. I would absolutely love to taste one of John's.
Like a mint chocolate too.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls.
My birthday is April 24th.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. But I just love the chocolate with the vanilla or the white cream. It's not vanilla. The white cream in the middle.
Yeah.
And I would love to be able to put one of John's Whoopie Pies up against just your standard generic chocolate and white center.
I think you have to just to be fair, but it's not fair.
It's not fair.
The unPAved Whoopie Pies are good.
Oh, they're delicious.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about those at all.
John's Whoopie Pies.
I am not complaining about that. In fact, I ate probably 2 or 3 of them.
Ellen took 48.
Yeah, no blame her. They're delicious. They also, I don't think John's Whoopie Pies, I still had a couple of pumpkins in the cooler when I got home, and they were just as good, Monday night when he probably made them in the middle of the week last week.
They're dense, but not dry.
Not dry at all. They're a little smaller, too, which I kind of like. I like the little bit of a smaller profile.
But they're big.
Footprint.
They're thicker.
Yeah. It's very good. But I would love to have just a chocolate, the white cream center version of that whoopie pie because I can't.
Yeah.
I can't
I kind
imagine.
of want a thin mint one.
And now I love the idea of a thin mint one. Yeah. With like a green mint
or a peanut butter one.
Nope.
I think he did peanut butter in them.
I don't like. Everybody craves the chocolate and the peanut butter thing. No, I love a good Reese's peanut butter cup, but like cake.
Well, you don't have to have one.
I'm not. I know. I'm just not a big fan. I don't have any.
Pumpkin.
The tiramisu and that other. I didn't eat any of those. No. All I focused on was pumpkin.
I don't know what I eat, but I ate them.
Zoned in on the pumpkin. So, John, thank you for the Whoopie Pies.
Very much.
Absolutely amazing. And we didn't actually. I didn't really get to.
It was nice having them around Friday night too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was nice. I did not get to experience Ted's Muff, but I heard rumors of it. And then John had a Whoopie Pie.
It was cool, but John's Whoopie Pie. This is like the John episode now.
Yeah.
He's going to copy all this and put it on his Instagram.
You know it.
Because that was a secret.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. He had so Ted's Muff thing was an Uncrustables dispenser on his fork, whereas John's was a 3D printed dispenser and carrier of multiple Whoopie Pies.
Yes.
See, much more. And then he also had the big thing. Did he put the big thing on the back that looked like the Whoopie Pie?
Was it like a mini Weber kettle?
Yeah.
That was all black, and then he put a white bike tire in between, and then in the top, and it looked like a Whoopie Pie.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. The pictures were cool. And then
nothing against the Muff.
Andrew had little Whoopie Pie valve caps, which are so cool.
I gave mine to Abe. So I thought it was like a cool.
Okay, yeah.
I can get more from Andrew right here.
Yeah.
But I gave mine away.
No, mine are on my Otso now.
I meant to tell Andrew. I just also never had service or talked to Andrew after we left.
Those were cool. Those are super cool.
Yeah.
Little Whoopie Pie valve cap.
I need to get a set for my rodeo.
Yeah. So that's Saturday. Now, we kicked off the day early on Sunday.
Kind of early. That's like late for me.
We were up there to set up. It was still like dusky. It wasn't. We were up in the dark and moving around.
Yeah.
And then got up there to set up. So we set up we helped set up. There's a tons of people doing this. And people don't think it was just you and I. There was tons of people there. Helping to set up and run the aid station and the check-in and registration and start for the 30, plus the 120s were coming through because it was a part of their course. So that's what we had at the aid station. Lots of food, all the things you might need, the bananas, the bagels.
I never ate Nutella until Sunday.
Yeah, and now is that
first time ever.
Have you eaten an entire jar of it by now?
No, but I ate a few spoonfuls the other night, and I woke up at 2 in the morning with some stomach issues. So that might have been it.
Chocolate. Or it's hazelnut. It's hazelnut, right?
I don't know.
Nutella's hazelnut.
I don't want to know what it is.
That's what it is. It's hazelnut. It's not chocolate.
I hate hazelnut-flavored stuff, which is odd.
But that's like
I hate hazelnut creamer.
That's all about chocolatey kind of.
Yeah, it was good.
Hazelnut. I think I'm right on that. I may not be. I don't know.
It sounds right.
Yeah. So we were there kind of getting people checked in. Then the 120s were coming through. And then at 10 o'clock, the 30s left. And Ellen and Austin did the sweep on that and did a fantastic job.
Awesome.
Everybody came back. They were out there with people, making sure that they were moving in the right direction.
They knew it was going to be cold and rainy.
Yeah, they were all prepared. But then Saturday, sort of mid-morning, the weather turned and the sun would come out. But then on the back side of the mountain, it was like thunder and storm.
I heard thunder. It opened up and poured. Then it was sunny, and then it did it again. And then we heard there was, on top of Jones Mountain, the Radio Control Club, where it's like talking about more lightning up there. I'm like, I think I saw 4 seasons.
We didn't see snow. We'd seen snow.
In my mind, it was snowing because it got cold.
So what we did was kind of hang after the 30s left. And then, Joe, you continued staying there. I went out in my truck backwards en route to kind of monitor folks and try to find the back of the line, and then moved back forward. And as I was moving back forward, I was trying to pick up signs, and I picked up, hopefully helped Brad out a little bit. I did about probably 11 miles or 12 miles of the 30. I was able to pull all the signs, but I couldn't because my job was to monitor people. And so then by the time we got back, it wasn't long after that Austin and Ellen came rolling in.
Yep.
And everybody successfully completed their tasks and missions for the 30 that day. I thought it was great.
Uh-huh.
I think we had one rider from the 120 group go down
Well, they were fine.
But they're fine. And that was it was a very uneventful backside of the 30 for the difference.
Yeah.
I thought.
And then we wrapped up there around 3. Austin and Ellen showered.
Uh-huh.
By the time we got back after cleaning up, we were
on our way to
ready to go
donePAved.
town.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be back before it got dark.
And we had, what was the food? We had the chicken tenders from the...
Yeah, there was some good food options, but something savory about fresh fried chicken tenders and the you saw the sacks of potatoes,
yeah.
So
you knew the fries were hit.
That place was great.
Yeah.
And I never took advantage of their other food. They had with the egg roll, apple pie, they had bacon on a stick, they had other food too.
Never quite understood bacon on a stick. I don't know. Is it real thick bacon? Is it almost like a hot dog on a stick? I don't know. Never done bacon on a stick.
Maybe the food we didn't talk about was Matt from Backyard Beans, his pork roll breakfast sandwiches. He made yours and mine before everyone else's, and everyone was like, "Oh."
I think that opened the floodgates for
but it's fine. He got me coffee both mornings.
Yeah.
He made a thing and then offered it to me and Casey Saturday morning. Then he had the coffee Sunday morning, and there's that pork roll with whatever mascarpone or not mascarpone, like a Gouda or whatever. It was almost cheese.
I don't know what kind of cheese it was, but it was creamy perfect. And delicious, and it had the right amount of salt.
Bun, the crispiness.
Yeah.
Oh, we ate good this weekend.
We did. We
only went out once.
We ate good until Monday morning we went to McDonald's.
That was good too.
Even that had a good. Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot to talk about that.
So donePAved, typical good time. Yeah. I enjoy, the year that I did the full pull, the 120 whatever plus miles and thousands of billions of feet. I got back so late at donePAved, it was kind of done. I enjoy getting back in the afternoon, being a part of donePAved.
Daylight.
And the 30, folks, if you're listening, the 30 would give you a great opportunity to truly take your time.
Yeah.
Enjoy all the best parts. You hop in your car,
shower at the Miller Center,
ride on down to the
party,
donePAved party, and that's like the perfect unPAved experience.
Get some Indo or the hidden birch beer.
I'm so upset. I'm still upset about that.
Once I found out, I ended up filling my can up 3 times.
Why didn't you just kept telling me there was no birch beer? Were you afraid
there was no birch beer?
Were you afraid I was going to make a scene?
And then someone secretly told me that there was birch beer. That was Brett.
You wouldn't secretly have told me.
I told you.
You did not.
You guys are ready to get out of there, and I spent another 20 minutes talking to people.
Yeah, I never knew there was birch beer. I thought you were pulling my leg.
No.
Because first you said there was birch beer, and then you said there wasn't birch beer.
I said I needed to go get some birch beer, and I needed to buy one of those pieces, one of those posters, which were beautiful.
At that point, I thought you were just messing with me.
No, and I even got in the truck with my can, and I just put the birch beer in the can.
So you were hiding it. That's
and I drank it all the way back to camp.
That's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
No, the after party was great. The food selection, the mac. I forgot to get the mac and cheese. Austin,
I didn't get you that.
I think ate everywhere. He was really hungry. Talked to everyone. I got a sweet glass. Sorry, Dave. I just went up and took one.
I didn't get one.
Yeah,
I didn't get a bucket hat either.
I got a bucket hat.
You get all the stuff.
I got a lot of stuff. But I also had some people come up and say we were the reason they weren't unPAved. I'm like, all right, I can grab a glass. I'm sure Dave will text me.
Send you an invoice.
That's fine. What was I going to say? Oh, we went and got more wood.
Yeah,
which I thought was a walk in the park. So I bypassed people, and I went to self-checkout with a thing of wood and those little pine tender sticks because there was no small wood to start fires in camp.
Because of fat wood.
And golly, I get to self-checkout, ring up the wood, fine. Those little things aren't even in the system at Giant. And Austin's standing there and here comes the same manager from the day before and no one knows how much they cost and they were back and forth on the radio and I'm like, well, the big wood's $8.99 or $9. Just scan 2 of them. I don't care. I'm sure it's worth half of that.
No, fat wood ain't cheap. How much was it when it rang up?
$6.99.
Yeah.
She just made up a price.
Did she?
Yeah. Smart. I thought I'd be in and out really quick.
Nope.
But we had a nice, fun fire Sunday evening. At the very end, before we knew it was going to storm really bad, I just chucked the rest of the wood on. Mm-hmm. We had a huge fire, and then it started drizzling. And the new park ranger ended up talking to us for 20 minutes. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little out of it. I was pretty tired. And I had a non-alcoholic beer, and I was like,
You were paranoid about the
pier.
pier.
God, and she's standing right next to me, right behind me. And I finally was like, there's no alcohol. And she's like, yeah, right. And I'm like, no, really, I don't drink. And
I had a couple of moments, too. I was
like, please. She was nice.
I was trying to keep a straight face.
But I was like, man. And then poor Ellen, she was from Montana, thought, she's Miss Wildfire because of Montana and living out in Washington and out west. And so she spends 10, 15 minutes probably going back and forth with the water to put the fire out just for it to completely pour. That's when we tested your tent.
Oh, is that what was going on over there? Oh, y'all were trying to pour water on the fire.
I wasn't. I dumped my gallon Yeti thing on it and called it a night. And then Austin was staying up with Ellen.
Okay.
She could have waited 5 minutes and
the pouring of the rain
poured.
Yeah.
But I also fell asleep really fast because of it.
Because of it, yeah. Because it was on the... It was nice.
Loud.
It was cool.
And then the thunder.
Yeah.
And the lightning was cool. And then just was white noise.
Yeah.
So we tested the gazebo. And other than some drips.
It did great.
Yeah.
It did great. And that was a heavy rain.
Poured.
It poured in the rain. So.
And then we got up at 5 and just backed up early.
I was up super early the next morning. I guess because the rain came so early, and then the rain kind of put me to sleep too. And it was the next day was we were out by 6:30. It wasn't even light out.
6:30.
Yeah. By the time we finished, we packed up everything in the dark, and I don't find anything that's missing. So. I was able to get home in time to set the gazebo up in the sun and get it to dry out.
I was here by 11, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 11:30.
11:30, something like that. So we made really good time coming back. So a highly successful weekend at unPAved.
We have to do it next year, too.
Yeah. Folks, one thing, a new product alert, which I watched the video on.
Oh, you already got your long-term review.
Yeah, I watched the video on this, so I'm going to go ahead and issue my long-term review. I think it's a winner. Rootworks has the new big handlebar bag.
Big Jim.
Almost double the capacity of the smaller original handlebar bag. And all sorts of things that you can upgrade and put things inside of it to make
huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It really is. It really is. So I think it's 6 liters of space. It's got 3 different mounts for the top, so you can mount.
It's got mounts for 3 different.
Yeah,
3 different spots.
3 different spots. You can mount 3 different things on the top. You can put your phone, your Garmin, and a GoPro. Comes in a couple of different colors. Has all sorts of inserts, so you can put inserts in to hold gear.
There's a camera insert.
Yeah, it's a camera insert, all sorts of cool stuff. So check that out. Go over to Rootworks. Check that out. We've been fans of what they've got going on ever since the original. Joey and I both have one of the originals. I spent a whole lot more money for mine, as did Ted.
I found some little glitch.
Joey found a glitch in the Matrix where he was actually able to get his. Did they pay you?
Basically,
isn't that how it worked? They paid you to take their bag, and you got the really cool color and
kind
all
of
that
like
kind
an
of stuff.
ambassador.
Definitely check that out. Here's an example of how much I've seen this in one thing. They got 2 burritos and a 4-pack of Tall Boys inside that thing. So if you think your camera won't fit in there, you're wrong. Little pocket inserts where you can create little mini toolkits and all really cool stuff. So Rootworks, new product. Check it out. Go to their website. It's ROUTEWERKS, Rootworks.
.cc.
Is it .cc?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not .com.
I think if you just Googled Rootworks, you would be able to find it. So anything else? I have an unPAved. I have a unPAved themed single, this or that.
Someone just bought one. I'm on their...
oh, really?
They're already at $30,000 of their $40,000
Ching.
With 29 days left.
I wish people would buy T-shirts like that. Come on over and buy T-shirts and buy all the stickers. And the sticker packs are here. They're going out. They're shipping. It took a little longer for the logo sticker packs because I was very picky, and I rejected a couple of the proofs and took my time to make sure they did a couple of those stickers right. There were some artifacts that were unwanted on some of their prints, the prototypes that they sent to me in the proofs. So sorry about that. It took about a week longer to actually get them start going out in the mail, but they're here. They're in packages. They're ready to ship. Logo packs ready to go. Stickers. I've got one this or that, Joey, this week.
Yep.
Are you ready for it?
Yep.
And it's unPAved themed. Po Patty or RB Winner. You kind of already touched on it, but
both are special. I think traditionally I would say Poe Patty.
Yeah.
I mean, Poe Patty is just Poe Patty. It's historic.
Well, it's all about what you're after.
It's like out there.
Yeah.
But if you need the reassurance of being closer to town, well, that's about it.
Tell me, Poe Patty have facilities like bathrooms and showers and stuff?
Yeah.
They
maybe?
do?
I don't know. We never use the facilities we did have, so what's the matter?
What's the difference?
Well, with Poe Patty, you can take a hobo path in Pins Creek, which runs right through Poe Patty.
Right down the middle of it. Like some of those campsites are right on the stream, right?
Yeah.
Right on the creek.
No, Poe Patty's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Historically, I'll just say Poe Patty.
Okay.
But RB Winter's got a lot to offer.
Now, I've obviously gone through RB Winter more than a couple of times. I've never stayed there.
Yeah.
But I thought RB Winter really offered
great.
Like a mature campground that had a lot to offer. You still felt like you were out. There was no cell service, so that's kind of the marker of whether you're in civilization or not. And it had all the facilities. I thought the lake was beautiful. We didn't go down there, but I thought the beach. I mean, the right time of year that would be absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah. We got some beautiful views even without the northern lights. Mm-hmm. We were looking for them on top of the vista, and we heard a coyote
down by the lake.
And down by the lake.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. Let's just say you can't go wrong with most Pennsylvania state parks.
You know, that's what I'm finding.
You might get yourself a Ranger Steve as your new best friend.
Yeah. So Susquehanna River Valley Visitors Bureau, they're really getting their money's worth, in my opinion, out of their association with unPAved.
Yeah.
Because every time I go to unPAved, I come away with a new found sort of love for a different part of what happens there in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And RB Winter was a whole new experience. Highly recommend the Burly 30. If you're on the fence and you want something different out of your unPAved experience, that's it. But
the way I would put it,
camp at RB.
Camp at RB
and ride
book
the 30
the sites ahead
of
of time so you can throw Cimarron and Dave through a loop. And they finally realized why they couldn't get those sites until a few days before. But if you've already done the 50 and you're like, maybe you still don't want to ride 90 or 120, like switch to the 30.
Yeah.
You'll have nothing wrong with the 50 route.
Nothing wrong with
it's gorgeous, but there's something a little more intimate about the 30, and it's fun.
Yeah. It's just a fun route.
Yeah.
It's all the good stuff.
You have the same amount of climbing with 20 less miles.
Yeah, and it's all compressed into 30 miles of just, I can't say how much. Yeah, 10 a.m. start. It's a casual
I will say
start.
The one thing I forgot that we did last year, like we should have cooked some more breakfast stuff. Like Kuhn was cooking breakfast last year. Like we could definitely, we'll never compete against Evan at Poe Patty.
Yeah.
But I say we just
you're gonna ramp the game up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dave, we move it down closer to the bathroom.
Yeah, I mentioned that to Cimarron.
Okay.
It's like
I figured a week out. They're getting downloaded with a lot of stuff, so I figured like a week after. But
I think keeping the starting line up on that little backstretch
up there.
Yeah, do the timing up there. But it would be a whole lot more convenient for people when they're coming out of the park on the 120 to stop lower.
Oh yeah, because we send everyone back to the bathroom.
Yeah, because they're like, "Where are the bathrooms?" It's like, "Well, you got to ride your bike all the way back down."
Illegally go in the woods, which we highly recommended against.
Oh,
because we could have got kicked out.
We scolded people over that.
Yeah, so we sent them back to the bathroom.
We stopped quite a few.
Yeah.
We stopped quite a few in their tracks.
Midstream, no.
Yeah, midstream.
no one like that. Luckily, everyone was respectful of the forest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that little facility, once you get down there with the view with the lake, it's like
it's nice.
You don't realize it's there unless you go to the bathroom.
Right. Really nice. Really nice.
So next year we'll go big.
Maybe moving that down there. And I think there were 50 people that were signed up for the 30. I think that was the number.
The forecast looked horrible.
Yeah, there was only like 30, between 30 and 35 that showed up. Let's double that. I challenge our listeners to double that number next year. And if we can get the Burly 30
up their numbers.
If we could get the Burly 30,
what can we offer?
This is what I was here thinking. If we could get the Burly 30 to 75 or 100, what could we do with a breakfast thing?
Have breakfast.
I don't know. If we get that many people,
then we can have like scrapple versus pork roll, and we can do all this. Like we can't do pierogies. That's illegal in the state of Pennsylvania.
For anyone else,
Evan Gross is cooking.
Yeah.
But what?
I like the idea, though.
We'll have John make homemade Whoopie Pies for RB Wind for all those people. No, I think we can get the numbers up there.
Let's see if we can do that.
Yeah.
We are now the champions of the Burly 30.
No, you can't have alcohol in that park, and we don't need alcohol there.
No, you don't need it.
But we'll figure out something.
Yeah, something special. We got all year to work on.
And I did plan my 2025 Nike race season already, and I texted Dave right before that, and I got confirmed the same, that Columbus Day weekend. So I definitely planned around unPAved again.
You planned the entire Maryland Nike program for next fall around unPAved.
Yeah, because I need a week off.
Nice.
I don't need a week off in between, but
you deserve a week off.
No, I'm still working, but my volunteers, I'm not going to make them go 3 weekends in a row. So they can have a nice weekend.
Yeah.
They come up to unPAved too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
We'll get Carl from Alabaster out there too. Oh no, we had Matt from Backyard Beats. Sorry, we had Carl. I totally forgot, but Matt brought more coffee up.
He did.
Never mind.
Okay, let's get this thing wrapped up. Highly successful unPAved 2024. Really looking forward already to unPAved 2025, and I think we will focus for the next. I mean, it's all about Croatan now. It's all about $150.
Yeah, but my debacle is, I'll train with everyone, but I think I'm just gonna go down and help Matt.
I wouldn't. We were talking about going down early.
I told Matt I'd give him a whole week.
Well,
as a
I'm not sure about
I have
all
an
that.
idea of a lot of it.
I could be convinced to do that. I could very easily be convinced to do that, especially if you had one day to go out for redfish.
Oh yeah.
If we had one day, Matt.
He might listen. Bruce Buckley listens a lot more than we think. I've been talking to Bruce a lot lately. More than normal because I hired him too. And
let's get Bruce back on. Bruce, come back on the podcast.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Breakfast with Bruce. Bruce is shooting Iron Cross this weekend.
Okay.
We could have Bruce cook breakfast at unPAved.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Would he do that? We would cook.
I could get Bruce to do it.
We would cook.
But I don't want him taking photos.
And when I say we would cook, I mean you would cook.
Yeah, I don't mind
but
cooking.
He could just be the celebrity guest.
Yeah.
I mean, he's at that level. Bruce Buckley, the celebrity guest. I like that.
But, yeah, I don't know if Matt listens a lot. But Bruce definitely told me he's been listening.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
He's like, we have Dave on too much. I'm just kidding. Croatan's the next big one. Not sure my role, what it'll be, but now that I am starting to be a seasoned race director, event promoter, whatever, I might help Matt.
I feel like I still have a little bit of unfinished business with Croatan.
You probably do.
But I feel like I do.
I would ride the day before.
I know I've done, I did the big long weekend thing, and that was a lot of miles over 3 days. I have not tackled the full $150, and I'm not saying that's what I need to do, but either that or really, I've never really made an effort at the 100. Also,
you rode it with Chris.
I rode it with Chris, but I was riding with Chris to get Chris through it, and not that he needed me, but I think there was something there that helped him get through it.
As long as I don't have to announce again.
Yeah,
last year, about 10 minutes after we finished not completing the 100, I didn't feel bad after it stormed or it opened up.
Yeah.
So I don't have anything that's like, if it was bluebird weather and I know I couldn't went back out even leaving Jack.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad anymore.
Yeah.
Because it just got dark and poured.
Yeah.
And we were dry. It was daylight.
Yeah. It was everything. I think happens the way it's supposed to.
But I'll still be in shape for the 100 again, like single speed.
And the cool thing is, the amount of time that we spend in the winter season, especially after the first of the year.
We bond. We all ride together.
Yeah, riding those like every other weekend or so down in St. Mary's.
And whether Matt actually thought I was dumb or not, we came up with some team competitions to try to get more groups of people down there.
Yeah.
Like the Ted crew. We call it the Whoopie Pie John crew now.
Yeah.
Our group, all these other teams, obviously the Outsiders.
I'm going to tell you what, his Whoopie Pies. I want to go back to John for just a minute. I think you were almost right. It used to be the Ted crew, but I almost think now it might be. I'll start a little war here. It could be the Whoopie Pies.
We're going to have that group implode.
Yeah, it could be the Whoopie Pie John crew. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
It was a nice little group. They were camping next to us.
I jest. They're great. All of them.
They eat and have the rock.
That whole crew, fantastic, wonderful people. And just because one of them is an amazing baker.
Yeah.
shouldn't elevate that person above any others unless they give you a chocolate one.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. We've probably rambling an hour and a half now.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
People listen to us. People listen to us on time and a half anyway, so it doesn't matter.
The F around
our voices are talking like this. So it doesn't
is our next. I mean, that's not a big thing at all. That's just more. I actually looked at an Airbnb for the whole weekend for me and Jess. Lancaster. Thanksgiving Day weekend.
Oh! That's right. The Hush Money event's coming up day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that was just more fun.
Roger.
Leva would be great on that. Especially all that railroad ballast. All right,
let's shut this thing down. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. If you're looking to get in touch with us, how can folks get in touch with us, Joey?
I had a lot of people approach and touch me this weekend. Ask everyone. They got annoyed in my little friend group. But we are at Gravel, Travel, Dirt. Is that our Instagram?
GravelTravelDirt.com.
That's our website.
It's the website.
Our Instagram, which I am blocked and have no access to, is at Mid-Atlantic GTD.
Yeah, and I did that.
And if you're on the gram or Facebook or anywhere and you wear your sheet shirts, please tag them. Like I said, when I was at self-checkout, I had 3 employees stare at me. So please tag corporate. I kind of want to get in trouble.
I'm worried about that one. Well, but everybody wants that shirt.
It's all on your computer.
Honestly, guys, if you want to get that shirt, I swear you really need to hurry up because I think there's a cease and desist.
I saw
after this weekend. Travis had his.
Ted
had his.
Jesse Piccolo.
Yes.
You, me. There's 2 others I saw.
They
There's
were
enough
everywhere.
where it was like, wow, I love getting. Also, it was nice. I spent no time on my phone. I have a horrible phone addiction, like most people, which probably is why I have ADHD, or maybe it's the other way around. But the few times we got quick little service, like we were at dinner, scrolling through, and you don't know the next, story, and you see our shirt on someone.
Yeah.
Out of Sheets.
It's wild.
Which was cool.
It is wild.
Sorry.
Okay, everybody. Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt is recorded this week from right here in Joey's kitchen. Get well, Blake. Get well soon. Blake's on the mend.
Blake had some surgery yesterday.
Thanks, everybody, for riding along. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, respect others.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
We got a mouse in my house, too, we can talk about.